Good morning and welcome to Thunder Alley RC Raceway in Beaumont, California, home of the 2019 RCGP rounds 7 and 8, the first rounds in the USA. I'm here 2 weeks early here to get a little bit of practice and flew out here for just a day and a half, just getting some run time. Wanted to do a quick track walk, just show you what the track's like. I just feel like the track walks, once I do them around the whole country, it'll just give people a good feel whenever they go to a certain race. They can check out a previous track walk, kind of see what the dirt's like, kind of see what to expect when they go. So you can see this track is built into a bit of a hill a little bit. Definitely a lot of elevation in the back. The front to the back is probably a good 10, 15 feet higher. So let's do a little track walk. This is the iconic, I'd say, front straightaway, which isn't really a straight. It's always got a big curve to it, depending which way they run the track. So here we go. We're running full speed, and I'm just trying to hug this pipe here, stay tight, and it's just full speed, full throttle, all the way down this guy. And then there's a little big drop off right here, and you're going 38 mile an hour. I mean, you're going full speed at this. You drop off, you can see where the landing is. So you're landing basically on full throttle too, and then they got the carpet wall. So this is pretty cool. It's full grip once you hit this wall, so you can hit this thing really hard and then just whoosh, hug right around it. So that's how we're doing it, really tight there. And then you're wanting to set up for this next section, and the goal here is to stay tight into the inside. And it's a little hard, you're carrying a lot of speed, so you gotta slow down enough to be able to make this corner. And then this thing kind of jets out. It's not like a smooth arc like you'd want to make, so it's more of like a deliberate. You need to really purposely get your car out here and then make this right-hander and do just like a little blip to double, and then full throttle and try to triple. So, or you can just do a double single, but that inside, if you can do double and then triple landing up here on the flat, that's your ideal. And then we got a raised corner here. It's a bit rough as well. Some holes have developed, but it's not too bad. And really, you're trying to stay inside of these. So it's a little difficult because this is slanting away. So from the driver's stand, it's a little hard to judge this downslope to this, but you want to try to stay tight. Stay inside those ruts. And then you got a drop off here. I'm finding my car to be a little slick right here. The rear end kind of wants to wiggle, but I think it's just the hard pack and then this hole right here. Maybe the outside tire is dropping into that and just washing out a little bit. So you can do like a blipping of the throttle to keep the car straight. That might be able to help that. And then you're starting to aim at this next corner here. So kind of diagonally out, jumping in about the middle here. And then you want to stay tight because this thing completely drops off. You can see there. So if you get out to here, you're just not steering. It's just the car is out there. You want to stay as tight as you can. So really tight to this guy. It's a pretty sharp 180. And then bleed out to about a quarter to half at most. Get a tiny little whip there. It's not too big of a jump. If it's easy to overshoot. So you're trying to land kind of on top. Get on that full throttle again. Onto the back launcher. You know, these jumps back here are kind of what I always feel like I expect when I come to Thunder Alley. They just really big air. You're jumping up to the highest elevation of the track. So you just full throttle this thing. You're in the middle of it. And you're probably nearly fence high up here. And we're landing. If you're at full throttle, you don't let off when you're landing out here. Or you can try to, as you take it and jump up, stab the brakes really quickly right at the end of the takeoff, try to land earlier and get on the throttle harder. So either one. I haven't really decided if one's faster or not, but I'm trying to stay middle in. And then on this thing, it's a little hard to judge again because the driver's stand is not too much higher than back here, so it's a little hard to see this, but I'm trying to stay tight and really get it turned sharp. And I'm trying to jump off the inside of it as much as I can. Jump it out to about a quarter. And then you continue on that little bit of a full throttle. You got a little bit of bumps here, nothing too major. But then you got this raised hump here, and you don't want to hit it too hard because this is kind of your braking point as well. So if you hit it, you're unloaded, and then you hit your brakes, you're just not going to really slow down enough, or you risk endoing. So you almost want to slow down a little bit right before it, and then keep that moderate speed, keep your tires on the ground, and trying to stay tight to this guy. But then here's where probably the second roughest part of the track. All these little holes, a little hard to see, but basically there's all chatter bumps, and you're trying to get on the throttle really hard, full throttle here. And the car's just kind of chattering a little bit, but taking this diagonal, trying to make the shortest line possible, and hugging this guy really tight. Staying tight. And then you start bleeding out, because now we're going to be wanting to set up for this corner here. So what you want to do, you're here, but then you want to bleed out to about a quarter to half and try to land about 3/4 out on this guy. So when you land that 3/4 out, you want to get almost all the way out here to the pipe. The reason for it is we've got a pretty stretched double here, and if you're on the inside, unless you're running e-buggy, if you're running nitro buggies, it's not easy to make, especially when the dirt's a little loamier. Maybe when the track got dried out, it might have the grip, but as of what it is right now, that's not the case. And on the inside, and all of this is a lot of chop too. So that chop disrupts your acceleration, and you just can't quite get that speed that you need. So you're really trying to shoot to go out here. You can kind of see the people that are out here doing this and hitting that line, and then try to jump. And then you're also, while doing this, almost trying to set up for the next jump too, because there's a bunch of holes on the inside, which I'll show you in a second. So again, we're jumping off about half here to about 3/4, bleeding out here. And if you want, you can even take it, zoom out a little bit here, all the way wide, and jump and try to skip all these bumps too. That also works. You just risk somebody being able to hit that perfect line on the inside and maybe overtaking you in the air. But you can go outside wide and jump, and then you don't risk hitting this high-speed bump down here. So you're trying to hit the downside here and continue on. If you can stay right here and out, it's very smooth, and it's a full throttle uphill triple. If you're on the inside, you can see it right there. That thing will buck your car, disrupt your speed a little bit, and might make it to where you're not able to make that triple. So gotta be a little careful of that. But if we're out here, you got full speed uphill triple, and it's going away from you, so you're trying to judge your nose height, but it's not too bad. Bring it down, hit that triple, get your turn going, and you can see again a little bit of undulations up here, but nothing too major. There'll be a little one here that if your tire got into that and you try to get on the throttle hard, it might kick you sideways. So you want to stay tight. And then jumping off, then you bleed out maybe just a little bit, and then really start to hug that corner to finish the straightaway. So there's a lap around Thunder Alley RC Raceway. Let's go show you a quick driver stand view. So again, the RCGP is in like 2 weeks, I think October 10th through 13th. So be sure to tune in to follow that. Should be some exciting racing. So here's the track from the driver's stand. So again, loops like right here. So we're staying as tight as we can, bleeding out, jumping out until about the middle. And as soon as you hit that carpet, it's high grip. So you can be almost as tight as you want. It'll still turn really tight. And then force yourself to go straight enough, and then force yourself to turn a little bit sharper than you almost want. You can't really arc it too much because that pipe just seems to bite you. So you gotta slow down a little bit and do a nice little double, then full throttle, and try to triple out. And just stay tight, bleed out to the middle, start working on this next corner, really tight again. Jump this in about the 1/3 section. It's not too far. Again, you can kind of pitch the car a little bit to get it started on your corner, and then jump in this right in the middle. You launch it, either land here or kind of try to scrub, hit a little bit of brakes right in the face, land here, get on the throttle really hard. Again, I haven't really ran with anybody yet to see which is really better. But then take this little drop down, land about there, stay tight on this guy, jump down, bleed out a little bit, and then slow down enough for this hump so you're not getting too much air and not being able to brake in time. Really start to carve this guy tight and set up for a straight line up to this. It's an uphill, a little bit of bumps, but try to stay as tight as you can. And start bleeding out, jump this about the halfway, jump out to about 3/4, and force yourself to run wide here to make this jump. So you can come just outside of these holes. This is definitely the smoothest line, and you're not going to lose much time because you're going to avoid getting upset hitting the holes. So you're out about 3/4 here, landing there, avoiding that hole right there, so just outside of that. An uphill triple, do the 180, and back down that front straightaway. So there's a lap around Thunder Alley RC Raceway. You can see beautiful park setting here. So if you haven't signed up yet, I think there's still some entries for the RC2 class. If you're local, should be a great time. If not, great track to come visit. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.